Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So, in talking about all these videos coming up to the election, I want to bring some light on what's the biggest issues, I suppose, and there's a huge amount of issues. More issues than probably even other countries in Europe. But we already talked about house and we talked about immigration. Now it's childcare, and I know for some people maybe it won't be the biggest issue as some other because obviously housing usually it really affects everybody housing. But childcare not too much, but it does affect people who want to have children even in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. If you're 20 years old like myself now, 21, maybe you're not taking of having the child yet, having a family, etc., etc. You're not thinking about that yet. But in a year, in 10 years down the line, it might hit you like a truck, basically. And we all know, having a family nowadays, it's not like years ago. People could have 9 children, and everything would be fine. Nowadays, it's sending them to school. It's trying to keep them fed, trying to keep them clothed, trying to put a roof over your head. It's not easy, and it's not easy in modern Ireland to do that. And the state is not there to help you. The state hates you in terms of having children. We see him in Cavan recently, a young man, I thought he's 1 years old. He has a mobile home out the back. He has two children are barely 1 years old. And the state is not happy with him putting a mobile home on his mother's own land, which he got permission for, etc., etc., because he didn't get planning permission, and they want to make him homeless now, to be totally honest. So that's what you get basically straight off the bat. But long story short, in terms of childcare, the price is insane. And this is the thing, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, particularly Fine Gael was in Cavan, Simon Howes was in Cavan last week, and he said we're going to open 100 new childcare facilities around the whole country. But this is the thing he doesn't seem to realise, and this is the thing he's leaving out, and Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, that the cost of operating a childcare facility, obviously getting insurance, etc., etc., has gone up dramatically. I even know of a few childcare facilities here that were privately run, and they had a few people working for them, a few young women working for them, and they looked after children when the parents were at work or wherever they went. And guess what? They had to close down because the insurance for looking after the children, because obviously they pay insurance if something happened to the child, if you fell, etc., etc., they have the insurance to cover it. The insurance, the same with children's offence, Cura Kids, take for example in Cavan, Life Wires, etc., etc., places that look at children go to play, etc., etc. The insurance has gone triple for that, so it's not profitable. And I think Paddy O'Bean said it a few weeks in the door, the Lena Vane too. It's not profitable. So why would they have child care facilities? And already the parents are paying a huge amount to put the children into the child care facilities. It's insane amount of money when you really add it up, along with then you have to pay for, if you have a mortgage, God forbid, and if you have to pay rent, God forbid too. Like, you would honestly have, like, the bank wouldn't be good enough. You would honestly have to go and rob 50 banks to pay all this, to be totally honest. Like, I don't know how people do it. But long story short, it's not profitable. The majority of the businesses, and obviously a lot of them have closed down, so that means the other places can put up the price too, because when there's demand they can put up the prices, and that's what we've seen in Cavan recently too. So Simon Howard pledged to open 100. You can dream on, to be told, answer, because it won't happen. There maybe be two built, there maybe be two open, but that'd be about it. The hundreds a bit. The government, you couldn't trust them to build a hen house, let alone build a childcare facility. But long story short, it's insane. Like, I know people who are young who have children, etc., etc., have 2 children, and God forbid it's desperate. They're trying to get a mortgage. That they're trying to balance life, work long hours, work, and then coming home to mind the children. It's a desperate time. I don't know how they did it years ago, but the state's not there to help you, and that's the simple stat. The state fucks you over. You think the state would want to help people have children, because they're saying every day of the week, the birth rate's down, we don't have enough people, we need to bring in people from Timbuktu, because there's not enough people to do this job and do that job. But at the same time, young Irish families, they can't afford to even get a house, because we all admit it, that if you have a child, etc., etc., you need space. The child can't just live in one. You need space, especially when the child gets older. You need space. You want to have space. Some can have a room of his own or her own or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And the state's not there to help you. The state slaps you in the face. It slaps you in the face multiple times over, 100 times over. And it's like the state doesn't really want people to have children, to be told honestly. And that's to be totally truthful. There's no policy to help people with children. Like, take for example in Finland, they have baby boxes too, to give them clothes, etc., etc., the child's younger. And they have different things throughout his life to help families. Like, they encourage people to have children, there's tax benefits and stuff like that. Over here there's no such thing. They just fuck you over in every corner of the way. And it's not right. Because we need the birth rate to increase. We do need the birth rate to increase. Because it's basically in the toilet now, and across Western Europe and the Western democracies, it's in the toilet, birth rates. But the only way you do that is to support families, because it is a difficult job. I couldn't imagine if I had a child too, because it's long hours, sleepless nights, and then having to get up when to go to work in the morning, bring them to school, keep them clothed, keep them pay for stuff. It's a never ending task, and the state's not there to help people. It'd be different if they were there to help you some of it, and try and help you a bit. But it's the fact of the matter, parents are left on their own, and the cost of childcare is insane. Like, you generally, if you add it up for a year for some people, like I know of a woman that's nearly paying 1,000 a month, just for childcare. That's without the rent, electricity, her car, insurance, 1,000 a month, for childcare. Because she's no family. And some people are lucky to have families to look after the children, but in a lot of cases they don't, and the family maybe has a job, has things. Life is different compared to years ago. But 1,000 a month, think about that. In some cases more. I've often heard people saying they're paying 3,000 a month in childcare, and at the end of the day they have very little coming home with them, to support the child. And it's incredible to see that we've come this bad in the last few years. And then again, we're bringing everything. And the government will always say that we don't have enough people in the country. We don't have enough population. There's the birth rate's down. We need more people to populate, etc., etc. And then they're bringing everybody. All the Irish people have to leave to go abroad. It's genuinely insane, to think of it. But what I propose too, that we look at more on what other countries have done. Take for example Finland, even Hungary. Take for example. I know people might not like Hungary too much, but they have for 3 children you don't pay tax. You don't pay income tax. Take for example, benefits like that would be good. It would help children. It would actually encourage people to have children, and it would actually sustain children, have children, and get a house and do stuff. Because there's incentive there. You can actually have a family. And again, it might not affect everybody now at the moment when I'm making this video. It might not affect you for 10 years, 20 years, if you're still young. But down the line it will. And unfortunately that's the thing. Especially young families that are only in their 20s. I've known a few of them, and it's difficult. It's torturous. They're trying to get a mortgage for the house. So it's just, like, I pity them. I seriously pity them. And I wouldn't blame them. I know of 1 or 2 that literally got their child and left and went off to another country. Because I wouldn't blame them. Because in every turn, they've been fucked over. And that's the simple truth. And again, it's for the next generation too. Because the birth rates will go down, as I say. And there'll be less people to pay tax, etc., etc. The population's getting older, etc., etc. The government's not there to back us up. As simple as that. And as I say, it's insane amount of money. So let me know what you take. I know a lot of people probably say, agree that it's got insane. It shouldn't be the price it is. Now, Sinn Féin's policy and stuff like that is talking about €10 off childcare every week and stuff like that. You pay €10 extra every week. But that doesn't solve the issue, because if it's still, say you're paying 2,000, €10 off, it's not going to make a bit of a difference. But I don't think it's going to make much of it, because it's just... the problem is in the childcare sector at the moment, it's the insurance. Unless the insurance goes down a bit, because obviously that means they have to pay more, people have to pay more. And that means there's less, because they can't afford to stay open. And then obviously pay the staff. There needs to be something done. And we do need to look, like, take for example, as countries like Finland, take for example Hungary too, good child-friendly policies. Over here it's just fuck you over policy, to be totally honest, in every conceivable way. That's really it, and until we change that, nothing's really going to change. And again, there's many ways you could change it. There's more ways I could talk about here. I could be here all day talking about it, incentives and stuff like that. But I do think we'll start off there, trying to make the insurance cheaper for childcare sectors, etc., etc. That's a good start. And then we can work to try and get, as I say, family boxes for people to pay, for cots and for clothes for the newborn children. It would help a lot. And then obviously different things too would help a lot more too, as they do in Finland, etc. Tax incentives, etc., etc. Reduce of tax, other stuff, other luxuries, etc., etc. And even Hungary too, for example, the more children you have, the less tax you pay, in income tax, etc., etc. And the state helps you out. And that we have nothing like that here. Simply nothing like that here. There's nothing. You're basically on your own, pretty much. And that needs to change, and especially because, again, the government every day of the week is saying we need people, we need people, we need people. And there's nothing, they're always saying, well, we need more people, but there's no such thing as, we're going to look after the Irish people, and we're going to try and get them sorted so they can have a family, etc., etc. Because the unfortunate thing is there's so many children and so many women and so many young men at the moment putting off having families and putting off. And nearly at this stage it could be 40. Again, that's what I'm saying. That's what's going to happen down the line, to be putting off. Because again, I think everybody would want a family at some stage. But, it's far too much basically. So people always put it off and off and off, and and that we shouldn't have that, because we shouldn't have people becoming fathers and mothers literally in the 50s and 40s, depending on the fertility rate, as I say again, of course. But yeah, me don't you take and subscribe more and bye.